The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Everyone, Kyle here, and it is Sunday, Easter Sunday, and it's time for weekly purchases. That time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, UPS, United States Postal Service, FedEx, and that old outlaw, that old cagey outlaw, Waylon Jennings. And what did I get from California that I brought back on the plane? And we dive into all of it with weekly purchases. And we're back at the normal grind here, being away in LA, of course, for WrestleMania weekend, a trip to Mattel, all kinds of stuff on the channel about the trip, as you guys probably know by now. But quite the week, a game changer of a week, one of those memories you'll never forget. And I met a ton of people that watch the channel, support the channel, which is really cool. I'm glad a lot of you guys and gals stopped to say hi. I met a lot of people from all over the world. Absolutely kind of crazy there. Just definitely an interesting weekend and one of the best weekends ever. If you're an action figure fan, it's one of the best weekends of the year, of course, especially if you're in the wrestling headspace. But what a weekend out there. And like I said, a ton of videos on the channel breaking down everything. I filmed pretty much everything. I have one video that I need to get, and I need to work on it, but it's copyright infringement on WWE and stuff from the Hall of Fame, and so I got some more work to do on that one. That might be one we get down the line. It's just a remember when kind of video. We'll see what happens with that one. But a lot going on this week on the channel. A lot going on every week on the channel. Who am I fooling? But let's start off this one. Let's start off with a little plugs at the beginning. Of course, the Patreon. We all know about the Patreon. Every single month we do a giveaway. Got to be a member of the Patreon to enter. But this month we got a big giveaway for April. We got the Royal Rumble Damian Priest, Royal Rumble Rey Mysterio, Royal Rumble Brie Bella, and Royal Rumble the man they call Vader. Of course, this will build the Doc Hendricks Build-A-Figure. So check this out. If you're interested in trying to win this, head on over to the old Patreon channel. This will be the April giveaway, a pretty good giveaway if I don't say so myself. So check out that one there. Of course, this weekend, if you're watching this video as the weekend drops, Pro Wrestling Tees has a big sale this weekend. 20% off all t-shirts. Spring 23 is the discount code. If you're not going to buy my t-shirt, and what are you waiting for? Got to get a deal. The Rio, the Turtle Anxiety, all the shirts are up there. Get a Terry Funk shirt. Get this Texas Bronco shirt. Terry Funk. We need more people wearing Terry Funk shirts, as I always say. So 20% off. Got to get a deal. Buy mine. Get the Rio shirt. Support our girl Rio and her quest to lose the title match, unfortunately, this week on Dynamite. But Rio, got to get a deal. Turtle Anxiety or Terry Funk shirt, Demolition shirt, Legion of Doom. You guys know. Playing all the hits over there at Pro Wrestling Tees. And then special shout out, I said it yesterday in Toy News, but my daughter Emma, it is her 8th birthday this weekend. I guess we'll call it this weekend. So happy birthday to good old Emma out there. But now let's dive into a few things before we get into the weekly purchases. We got to recap the week that was. And like I said, it was all about Mania week this week. We did 2 different videos from 2 different Mattel Q&A panels I was a part of. You know, I wish I would have had a teamwork. I should have invited somebody or had somebody there on the ground say, hey, you're coming with me. You're going to help film, because I had to do it all myself. So I didn't get to ask a lot of the hard-hitting questions I wanted to on the Q&A panel because I'm filming the whole thing. However, I did talk to Bill, Steve, and Robert for an hour plus, each one of them off to the side one-on-one. So I got a lot of my questions answered. And if you check out the videos that I had on the channel this week, breaking down, the basics, Reckon, Superstar Retro, I did a video on that, an Elite video, and then a Stages and Ultimate video. I give some of the commentary, some of the stuff I found out when I was with the Mattel guys. So check out those 3 videos, deep dive in all the reveals, talking about everything there. The 2 Q&A panels, as I did say. A video on the Superstore breakdown, where we went through the Superstore, filmed that. I did a video there. And, of course, the tour of Mattel. I got to go to Mattel last Saturday. Got to take the tour, part of the Q&A panel, which you did see. Saw a lot of new reveals, things like that. And some stuff we'll see in this episode of Weekly Purchases that they gifted me. They were so kind to gift me over there at Mattel. So stay tuned for that later on in this video here. But a lot of good video from the WrestleMania weekend. Make sure you check in and dive into all that kind of stuff. But that wasn't it for wrestling this week. We also did the Thursday tradition, the Yokozuna top 5, counting down my top 5 Yokozuna figures of all time. Yoko had a lot of game-changing figures, especially that Hasbro and that Bone Cruncher. If you were a collector and you were a player back then, game-changing figures and some good ones after that as well. So check out that video if you missed it. We did review the whole SummerSlam wave, ranked the wave from my least favorite to my favorite, and of course built Mr. Perfect Build-A-Figure. If you missed the SummerSlam wave, check that one out on the channel. Jack's Classic Superstars, another Tuesday tradition for well over 3 years now. Patreon members, you got videos to last you until June 2024. That's how far ahead we are on Jack's Classic Superstars videos over on the Patreon. But we got this week, we had the Ultimate Warrior, we had DDP. Check out those ones for Classic Superstars if that is your thing. We unboxed the MJF Walmart exclusive AEW figure. That came out this week. I actually found that. Unboxed that on the channel. Check that one out. Chella Dynamite Kid Variant Edition. I finally got around to putting that. That's been on Patreon for a couple months, I think. I finally put that one out on traditional YouTube this week as well. And a few other things, that Bloody Pandora Action Force Valaverse figure, finally put that out on traditional YouTube. Donatello, the Invisible Man Donatello Universal Monster Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossover figure. We did do that one on the channel this week. Quite the sleeper figure, actually. Quite the invisible figure, actually. But check that one out if you're into that toy line there. My dad joined me for the channel once again. We talked all things Creature from the Black Lagoon, Entertainment Earth Glow in the Dark exclusive. A lot of fun anytime I get my dad on the channel. Trying to convince him to do more things. Trying to convince him to start his own Ask Tom Questions podcast. Who knows what we could do with him. There's so much stuff. He's a fountain of knowledge, as you guys see. We could all talk for days on every little subject there is. Who knows? We'll see what happens in the future there. 2 Star Wars videos this week. We did Star Wars Mania. You guys know I'm dabbling in the Star Wars, playing a little bit of that long game, going after Star Wars slowly. It's not the days of getting Star Wars right when they come out are done. That's the one fan base or fandom that I collect action figures for that has probably broke my heart the most. I got to be honest, and I've talked about it on the channel. But 2 really good ones, including a little hairy bipedal creature that stole my heart many, many years ago, or maybe many moons of Endor ago. Talking about boy Wicket, so we did get to unbox him finally. Very excited to get that one in my hand. Frogmonger, Masters Universe. Unfortunately, no updates on my Frogmonger saga. Special shout out to Gage Octane, of course, great friend of the channel, Midwest Wrestling legend. We each order 2 or 3, whatever the limit is, just in case the other ones get iced out or we don't get ours in this case. So thankfully, he had his extras. I did buy those from him. Still waiting for Mattel. It's been a week since we communicated. I guess I'm going to send him another email, say, hey, any update here? Can I at least get my money back if I'm not going to get these? Because Skeletor goes up for pre-order next week. I told Gage Octane, I said, you better get every single one because there's a disaster last time. I don't want that to happen again. So we'll see what happens with that. But Frogmonger review on the channel this week. We also did the Sewer Heroes Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4-pack. A very cool 4-pack and one that was very cheap online. I jumped on that one, but I actually did like that pack. That was a pretty cool pack when all things were said and done. And I love the box that you could use it for storage for accessories and things. So I thought that was really cool. And then, of course, laid in a special shout out once again to good friend of the channel, old David C. Anderson. It was very cool that David C. Anderson was already going to WrestleMania. He did get a rental car, so I got to kind of tag in there. I said, hey, I don't have to bother with a lift and stuff. He helped me out. We were actually in the same hotel. We didn't have the same seats for Mania. We didn't get to do all the same stuff, but a lot of crossover with that. So that was fun to have somebody local, somebody I know, instead of being out there all by myself. But then David came back, started off hot, picked up at Target the old Bret Hart Ultimate Edition, grabbed me one as well to review here on the channel. So special shout out to David for helping me out. And check out that Bret Hart Ultimate Edition Target exclusive review on the channel. So very fun to have that out of the way. Bret anxiety over and done with. Now we turn our attention to Legends anxiety. That's where we're at right now. Got to think we'll find them. We always find Legends. It's just wanting to get them right away, especially that Samoan SWAT team. That's the one I'm excited for. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned on the channel. And then the final, we always wrap up the recap of the week with the Friday figure hunt. This one's a little bit special as it was my California figure hunt. Didn't get to hit a lot of things, but I wanted to hit at least one Target, one Walmart, and then Frank & Son's collectible show. Big warehouse. Think of like a Costco or a Sam's Club, full of collectibles, different vendors, things like that. So we did go through that. That was this week's fig hunt. Next week, back on the road, a little bit of a local fig hunt. I had to go to Kansas City this week, so a little bit of Kansas City fig hunt. A little of this and that coming in next week's fig hunt. So be on the lookout for that one next Friday on the channel. So make sure you do subscribe and all that fun stuff. Now we go to the Jonathan Franks question of the week.
What's the right tip?
What a question right there. What is the right tip? What do you guys think? Put in the comments down below. What is the right tip? What do you think about tips? What do you think? Do you tip on YouTube? You can like tip on these videos and things. Do you do that kind of stuff? Or most likely we're talking restaurant tipping right here. And me, I usually do 20%. However, like my wife, she's going to give everybody 20, 25% no matter what. Even if it's the worst service in the world, she's going to give 20%. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Now, I've never been in the server industry. I know they don't get paid as much. I know there's all kinds of things. Like any industry, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes and things like that. But if my food comes cold, my food doesn't come at all, they mess up my order, I'm still going to give a tip. But if it's really, really bad, it might be a 5% tip. That's just how I live my life. I know there's a lot of people, and I always hear it from people, well, I was a server one time, I understand it, but man, oh man, food is expensive these days. Obviously, you had that tip on adding expensive. Not that I'm cheap or anything like that. Maybe I am. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I got to get a deal in the restaurant too, But one thing is, if they give me the worst service in the world, I'm not tipping. I'm not giving them a huge tip, if a tip at all. That's just the way it's going to be. I got to have at least warm food. I'm paying for that luxury of dinner somewhere. They got to help me out here. Got to help me feel like I've been taken care of at the end of the day. But usually I'm about a 20% tipper most of the time, and I'm sure that's probably what the majority is. They said something like there was a survey recently, and the Midwest was like the best tippers in the United States. Well, I'm right there in the heart of the Midwest, and I think they said California was the worst tippers out there. So it is what it is, I guess. But what's the right tip? I'm going to say 20%, but if it's terrible service, man, drop that thing down to 0 to 5%. How about? We'll call it with that. So there it is. There's the Jonathan Frakes question of the week. Now we dive into the weekly purchases. All right, let's get down to it. Let's get down to the old weekly purchases here. And it was kind of a light week, I guess a semi-light week we'll call it. Of course, I wasn't out figure hunting as I was in California, and I was really selective of what I wanted to buy. If you would have saw my fig hunt, or if you saw it over at Frank & Sons, I saw about 5 or 6 things I really wanted to get, but I said I'd have to go to like the post office, mail it all home. It's all stuff that is coming out very soon. I said, I'll wait. I'll save a couple of bucks, save the postage, save the headaches, and I'll wait till it hits my area. But if I lived out there, I probably would have picked those things up. But I did get a few things through the mail, a few things that did come. A fairly light week, but I did get a grab bag, kind of a thank you bag, goodie bag, whatever you want to call it, from Mattel with a couple of surprises in there. So we'll show that here in this video today. But let's dive in. Let's start off the old weekly purchases. And once again, got to thank David C. Anderson for this one. I got my mint on card, Brett Hitman Hart. Of course, we unboxed one on the channel as well. I don't know what I'm going to do. I got some serious decisions, some soul searching to do. Once the weather warms up a little bit, I'm going to go sit on a rock on a lake. I'm going to skip some rocks. I'm going to sit here like this, look at the water for a while, and really contemplate my life. Ask myself, Kyle, what are we doing here? Because do I want to continue with a Mint on Card Ultimate Edition set? I'm kind of on the verge of calling it quits. As of course, when Ultimate Editions first came out, we had 10 a year, let's call it. Well, now we're looking at like 40 different Ultimate Editions a year. Now I'm all in on keeping them loose and keeping going with that line. But do I have the space and the room to be a part of the Double Up Club anymore? I'm not really sure. So I got to have some deep thoughts, some deep conversations with myself, as between the Walmart exclusive, Target exclusives, Amazon exclusive, Ringside exclusive, the normal waves with now going to 3 per wave. Then you throw the Coliseum collection on top of there. That's a lot to keep track of. That's a lot to keep on. So we're going to have to see. I might have to make some hard decisions, but I'll have to wait for the lake to be open. Once the ice is all gone, I can really sit and contemplate in that water. Maybe we'll film it too. Who knows? We'll see what happens there. But I did get that Bret Hart. And then I did get back home. I had to go to the office. Hadn't been to the office because I'd been away. And I said, you know what? I'm going to stop at the Walmart on the way to the office. And who do I come across? Only one sitting on the shelf, but it was the Walmart exclusive Wardlow. So we unboxed the Walmart exclusive MJF last week. Now we got the Wardlow for this week. So I like the way that's working. I like the way that's coming up. Deep Discount, deepdiscount.com, Discount DVD, whatever it's called. Been around a million years. They run sales all the time. A lot of times they cancel your orders. Sometimes they don't. I did play the long game. Finally got the comic Princess Leia for like $10. Got to get a deal. Play the long game. That's what I'm doing on the majority of these Star Wars. Unless it's a hairy bipedal creature or a little hairy bipedal creature, I'm playing the long game to the best of my abilities. That's what I did on that Leia figure. So I was happy about that. I did get from Amazon this week the Mr. Freeze McFarlane toys. In all honesty, I think I want the Chase edition a lot more. That one looks a lot more Super Friends-like. But I did want one representation of Mr. Freeze, and this one looks pretty good. I do like the looks of this one. So more to come. I might get that Chase edition down the road if I come across it. Then I got this Catwoman, and this Catwoman, maybe not the most iconic Catwoman of all time, but in my head, this is what I think of when I think of a Catwoman action figure. Maybe I'm different, but I remember the old school toy line from Kenner back in the day that had a figure like this, really hitting the nostalgia feels, so I did end up picking this up from Amazon as well. this week. MattelCreations.com, they couldn't get me my 3 Frogmongers, but they did get me my Evil Lyn. So a figure that's going to be an interesting one to unbox, because a lot of people did not like the new Netflix Masters of the Universe Revelation series. I really did enjoy it, up to one part is when Evil Lyn turned into a gigantic Incredible Hulk bodybuilder thing. They lost me right there. I did not like that one. I don't know how well I'm going to like this figure. We'll have to see what happens here. And I think they were very smart to make this a Mattel Creations exclusive, because I think if this went to traditional retail, this would be the peg warmer of the century. I really do think it would be. So more to come on this one. We'll see what all the fuss is about eventually. Speaking of deep discount DVD, whatever it's called, it's deepdiscount.com. I don't know. But I did get this guy. I've been looking at this guy at Walmart on clearance, just not cheap enough, but I think he went down to $12 there. And then I think I got free shipping with that Leia figure together with this, so I did pick this guy up. He's going to be one of the heavies for the Kingpin on my Marvel Legends display. So we did get this guy, a little Fortnite Deluxe figure right there. So that was interesting. How about a little bit more He-Man going on? Entertainment Earth, use discount code Kyle, save 10%. You got to be smart, because over $59, things do ship free. There's always things that are a little cheaper that you can add on that you need to get yourself that free shipping on top of 10% off. It's all about getting a deal on these action figures. We all work too hard for our money. We got to get the most bang for our buck, and that's what I did. This guy was up there for retail, and I forget what I pre-ordered with him, but I pre-ordered something. I said, I'm going to get another one of him. Might as well save 10%. Help me get that free shipping. So I got my other Snakeman Horde Trooper that I needed 2 of these. So I got that other army builder right there, so I was happy to get that one. And then once again, special shout out to Midwest Wrestling legend Gage Octane helping me with the Frogmonger. I said, I'm cutting my losses. I'm picking up the other Frogmonger. So I did get that. We did unbox it on the channel this week. I got my Frogmongers. Now I'm just waiting to get the 3 from Mattel. I don't know what I'll do at that point, and maybe we'll give them away on the channel here, or hopefully I get my money back at this point is what I'd really kind of like. So more to come on that. Stay tuned with the Frogmonger saga that seems to never end. Amazon exclusive this week coming through the door, Guardians of the Galaxy Ronin the Accuser. I did not have the old version of this, so I was very happy to get this one. We'll unbox this time, sometime this week, so stay tuned for old Ronin. And then I did get this one from Hasbro Pulse. I guess I didn't even realize this was shipping so soon. Unfortunately, the X-Men animated series figures have taken a siesta in the sun. Unfortunately, maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't, but they have moved on to the Spider-Man animated series, which I always thought of A, X-Men, B, Spider-Man, so they're close. I'm here for it. But we get Carnage and Venom. It'll be interesting if there's a lot of fuss with this one. We'll see. We'll dive into it probably this week on the channel as well, so stay tuned for that. Then Amazon slowly trickling them out there. Guardians of the Galaxy from the new movie. I got Star-Lord here. So we got the old Star-Lord. Interesting ones. We'll see how well this one does. We did get Nebula so far. There she is, looking only like a Nebula could look. And then we got Adam Warlock. This ain't my Adam Warlock from the Infinity Saga back in my comic reading days, but we got 3 of these. Let's see. I think Rocket is supposed to come to me this Wednesday. I think Mantis is supposed to come Monday, and I think Drax is coming on Sunday, I think it said. So I will have this set completed. Of course, we'll unbox all these. We'll rank and review, do the whole thing. That Cosmo Wonder Dog, I don't know. That could be a little controversial. Who knows? We'll see what happens with that one there. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Stop the clock. Got a few things that were dropped off after I finished up with weekly purchases. Thought I'd cut in here and show these ones as well this week. Of course, Amazon coming through with the Sorceress. Masters Universe Revelations, gotta have her. Happy to have that one in the collection. Ringside Collectibles, use discount code Kyle, save 10%. Forgot these guys were coming, but we got Rey Fenix, the Supreme Edition, shipping now from Ringside. And of course, you can't have Rey without Penta. So the latest Supreme Wave is here. We'll get these unboxed here on the channel fairly soon. Hopefully I'll get after that right away. But really cool to get these. Of course, Ringside Collectibles, use discount code Kyle, save 10%. And the head scratcher purchase of the day. I did not purchase this. This is not sold in my local area because this is a regional chili. Ah, yes, chili. Everybody loves chili. But I got Skyline chili, an Ohio favorite, as we do know. The original chili in a can, and I got this from Walmart today. I have no idea why, because I didn't order this, and I don't even think they sell this at my local Walmart, so not really sure what's going on there. I looked at my order history. I have no chili ordered. I have nothing else that was supposed to be sent to me. I don't know if it was just a mistake or an accident or a happy accident. Maybe it'll change my life forever. Get a real deal Skyline chili dog at home. Boy, that's some good eating. Good eating, folks. But there it is, a little bit extra to weekly purchases. Now we're going to turn our attention over to some wrestling stuff. Well, at first, I got one wrestling figure. I finally found this. Shout out to old Scott McGowan, good friend of the channel, good Classic Superstars brother. He's alerted me more than once in my life to a few things, and he hit me up when I was in California, and thankfully I saw the messages. I wasn't as quick to respond as I usually was, as I was very busy out there. But he did send me a link to an eBay auction for the 2-pack Jakks Deluxe Classic Superstars Undertaker that goes with that cane. And I have the cane. I needed the taker. I've been waiting for that taker. It never comes up by himself at a good price. Well, it was best offer. I shot an offer, and thankfully it was accepted. Very happy to have Undertaker Anxiety done. So special shout out to Scott for helping me out, cluing me into that going on there. Very excited to have that off my books. So there we go. We're very close to complete. I think the only Deluxe Classic Superstar I am missing loose now is that Shawn Michaels. It was the Pro Figures exclusive, the one with all the title belts and the soft good outfit. I need to find a minty loose one of those. So if you guys got anybody that knows about it, got to get a deal, of course, but I'm on the hunt for that. So that's the last thing I need. I'm not opposed to getting a mint on card one and opening it, but I'd prefer not to. I hate to take those out of circulation, but we'll see what happens with that. But now we get a look at some of the stuff that was in the Mattel bag that they gave us at the Mattel offices as a thank you. I mean, class act by that Mattel team. Like I said, Robert, Steve, and Bill McKenna, I talked to all three of those guys for a long time. They were very open to any question you had. A lot of good conversation. I had a lot of questions off the record I wanted to ask, and they answered every single one of them. No issues. It was very nice meeting those guys. I can't wait to meet them again later this year. Stay tuned for that. But a lot of good stuff, a lot of fun stuff over there at Mattel. And Mattel was gracious enough to give a little grab bag kind of at the end as a thank you for visiting. Quite the weekend. Very happy I did go to that. Very happy and humbled for the opportunity as well. But I did get some stuff there. And one thing they did was it reminded me, John Cena Series 100 Elite. Of course, we unboxed this on the channel, but this was in the bag. And it reminded me that I need a mint on card set of these as well. So I got to make sure I get the rest of this set on card. I have basic 100 on card. I need to get this on card. I would love to be an Elite completionist on card. It's just not in the cards. A lot of cards going around. Let's play some cards. But I do want Series 100 mint on card. And Cena, I guess, will be the first one I get there. I got to get both Andres and the rest of those as well. So much more to come on that. So stay tuned for all that as well. I did get official retro 4-pack. I have not unboxed this yet, but I do assume this is the Lex Luger set, the brand new set here. I already have these, so I might do a giveaway on this on the channel. Of course, April is the Royal Rumble set. We'll see. Maybe we'll do this for May. Stay tuned. More to come on that one. And then, very cool to get a set of this, a mint unbox set of the No Holds Barred Zeus and Hulk Hogan. Of course, I already have this, so I possibly might give this away as well. Who knows? My dad might want this as well, so I'll have to check with him. Maybe he'd want that. We'll see what happens here. But very cool to get these two. And then the coolest thing there for me was Series 102 Elite Sami Zayn. So getting ahead of the pack there, even before ringside, getting this Sami Zayn figure. And it's perfect to go with my old buddy Johnny Knoxville. If you saw my social media, maybe you saw Johnny Knoxville. He was right above my head, and he has not let his hatred for Sami Zayn go. He was jawing the whole time. He was flipping the bird to all the fans that were fighting with him. Pretty crazy, but I love me some Johnny Knoxville. I loved that match. I loved all that. Love Johnny Knoxville. So I'm very happy to get the Sami Zayn to compare, to go with that Johnny Knoxville. So look at this one to be unboxed on the channel very, very soon. But very humbled and happy to get this from Mattel a little bit early. And hopefully 102, I have to imagine, if they already have these samples here, I have to think in the next week or two, Ringside Collectibles will be shipping that one out. Of course, use discount code Kyle, save 10%. Can't wait to get that set in my hands. So a lot of good stuff this week. Like I said, not the busiest week, but a pretty good week, I would say, out there in the old streets, especially only being home for 2 days since the last weekly purchases video, but a lot of good stuff and a lot of good stuff to come. Of course, like I said, big Pro Wrestling Tees sale this weekend. Spring 23 is the code to save 20%. Get that. If you're not buying my shirt, like I said, get the Terry Funk shirt or get whatever you want. Got to get a deal out there, as we always do say. But make sure you do check out all the videos on the channel. Make sure you just subscribe to this very YouTube channel. Hit the old notification bell. Give it the old Hacksaw Jim Duggan thumbs up. It always helps the channel's growth, as you guys know. Getting dangerously close to 29,000 subscribers, so thank you guys and gals for subscribing and following along on the channel, of course. Don't forget about the Patreon. We got the giveaway over there, but you got early access to all the videos, things like that, bonus content, exclusive content, Q&As, you name it. A lot going on over the old Patreon channel, and truly your best way to support the channel, including Pro Wrestling Tees, which we already talked about. And then don't forget to hit me up on social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. You know what I'm doing? I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into another work week. I'll see you guys all real soon.